Hello and welcome to Larissa's Kitchen. Today, it's a taste of summer in November with lemon pudding cakes. These two-layered desserts separate into a pudding layer and a cake layer while they're baked. My regular viewers may notice there's a lot more countertop behind me. My microwave is dead. Lil Sparky went up in a blaze of coronal glory. Well, actually, it didn't happen like that at all. We hit the go button, the GFI circuit tripped, and that's all she wrote. But enough of this sob story. Let's get back to making those desserts. Before we get started, I've got the oven preheated to 350 degrees. We need to grease 6 6-ounce ramekins. Now, this is getting cooked in a water bath, so you can see over there I've got my water heater. About halfway through putting these together, I'm going to set it to boil. Now, this is going in my 9 by 13 inch cake pan, but this is a non-stick pan, and I don't want these ceramic bottoms to damage it. So I've just put a piece of parchment paper in the bottom. Now, I also have one other piece of kit here, and that's my batter shooter. This batter is going to be very loose, and it'll just be easier to put into these ramekins using this batter shooter. These desserts are made in 2 parts. We'll be making a meringue, and then we'll be putting the cake batter together. For the meringue, we're going to need the whites of 2 large eggs, a half cup of sugar, and a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. For the cake batter, we need the yolks of those 2 large eggs, along with 1 tablespoon of lemon zest. Now, this is just the zest from 2 large lemons that I chopped very finely. We're also going to need 1/3 cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice, 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of melted butter, and 1 cup of whole milk. Let's get started on the meringues first. If you've never made meringues before, it's not difficult, but you do need to pay attention. We'll be beating these egg whites on high. We'll add a little bit of salt to it, and then when they reach medium peaks, we're going to start very slowly sifting in this half cup of sugar. For the cake batter, we're just using the exact same beaters we did for the meringue. First, we're going to cream the sugar and egg yolks together. After they're thoroughly combined, we'll add in the rest of the ingredients. We're just going to fold in this meringue half at a time using a wire whisk. Now we just need to evenly divide this among these 6 ramekins. Those pudding cakes are going to bake for 40 to 45 minutes. The top should just begin to become golden brown. We don't want them to over brown. You have to be very careful when you pour in that boiling water. We don't want any water inside the pudding cakes. While we let those pudding cakes bake, I'm going to show you how to put the garnish together. Now we're going to need a couple of lemons because each plate will get 3 slices of lemon. We're also going to need a very thin bladed and sharp serrated knife. Now I'm using a tomato knife because the end will help me get the seeds out. We're going to be making very thin slices, probably about 1/8 of an inch thick. And we need to remove all of these seeds. Once we got all these seeds out, we're going to stack this up, and then we need to slice through all 3 lemons just a little past the center. All right, and then still with all of our lemons stacked, we're just going to twist them and separate them ever so slightly on the plate. Then we're just going to add a fresh sage sprig for color. We need to let these cool for about 15 minutes before we can eat them. Let's give this lemon pudding cake a taste. That cake is so light and the pudding is so deliciously lemony. Perfect. I'd like to express my warmest gratitude to Lyle at No Hippie Barbecue and Cooking for helping spread the word about Larissa's Kitchen, and to Eric at Gresham for finding my channel in the first place.